Hey, good morning. It's weird. This is Troy Knowles. I think I'm reintroducing Sunday school. Not think, I know I'm going to reintroduce Sunday school in 2021. And so today, this is really a test. And I have with me a good friend of mine that I'm going to add to the broadcast named Jason Rogers. And today we're going to talk about intentional living. What up, Jason?
What's up, bro? Thanks for having me.
Hey man, thank you for coming to my initial redoing of Sunday school, something I did in 2017, a little bit in 2018. And now, man, I'm ready to do it. And I'm glad I got you. We've been spending a lot of time together. And one of your favorite things to talk about is intentional living, man. Go ahead and tell me what intentional living is.
Man, intentional living is like going after everything that you deserve. You know what I'm saying? Going after everything that you desire to have, the life you desire to have, the life you envision for yourself, you know, and just being intentional about making those things come to pass.
Okay, and so like I think one of the things that happens as children, man, we have this vivid imagination. Like I want to be a fireman, I
Hmm.
want to be a police officer, I want to go to the moon, I want to be the president. And somewhere along the line, that imagination is trained out of them. How do you get back to being what I like to call childlike? You go outside with a Superman cape and Batman draws and some cowboy boots, where you don't just care about what nobody thought. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. I tell you what, it's funny that you asked that question, like because prior to getting into entertainment, I was doing biotech and I feel
Yeah,
as if and doing well at it. You know what I'm saying? My family's eating, we had no worries. But I didn't realize that, I was doing that partly because I had lost my imagination. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I was enjoying, you know, a good salary, but not a good life. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And I'll tell you, it took me having like, my good friend, my mentor, Godfather to my kids who had his own, business in music to show me like, you know what, bro, I can imagine anything and like bring that to pass. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And and I'll tell you, man, the more I paid attention to him, the more it changed my life. You know what I'm saying? So, and I said it to say this, like, if you see someone like living, their best life or living the life that you desire or doing something that you desire to do, I'll put it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing stops you from doing that. You know what I'm saying? And when you imagine that, you can intentionally start to set up steps to actually have that manifest into your life. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
funny thing is,
really.
man, like at what point did we just start, going to school and getting careers based so we can have money? Like when did we start chasing money rather than chasing the life that we desired? And how has that
Well,
switched for you? Because you went from biotech, something you obviously studied for a long time, to
hmm
working, and we didn't introduce you, but working at a very high level in the entertainment industry.
hmm you know, the way our school systems are set up, bro, it's set up, go to school, get a good job, not go to school and chase your passion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And if your passion seems, like far out there, they'll tell you, you need to be more realistic, that type of
yeah.
thing. And
Who's reality? Like some people will put their reality on you. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah, yeah, people put their reality on you, like you know, sometimes it could be your parents, but
Yeah,
but unfortunately, that's just the way they've been taught, you know.
yeah, yeah.
But here, that's just not the right way, and that's what I love about this year because people are really stepping out and realizing that what, I can really step out, do what I want to do, be happy, and not sacrifice my quality or standard of living. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Now
yeah,
it just doesn't happen. You have to be intentional about it, like set up specific steps, to
yeah.
get there. But what we know now is that hey, it's possible. It can be done. It's
You know
doable.
what, man? I always tell people what you pay attention to is what's going to show up. And the way I say that, man, because a lot of people think that's woo woo and this, that, and other. Like my
Nah.
favorite car is a Toyota FJ Cruiser. It's a car that my daughter Jasmine introduced me to. I had never seen it before then, but now
Mhm.
I don't go a day without seeing at least 4 or 5 of them. Now I could be
That's
riding in the
it.
car with you, and if you're not paying attention to it, you'll never see it. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And then I
Yep.
tell people like close your eyes and close your ears and listen. Every radio station within Dallas, Texas, and Dallas, Pennsylvania, where you live, is playing right now. Which one are you
Mm-hmm.
tuned into? Are you tuned into NPR on 90.1? Are you tuned into
Mm-hmm.
hip hop at 97.9? So I think you have to be very, like you said, intentional on what you're paying attention to and what you're tuned into.
I agree 100%, man. And not to get super spiritual, but this is Sunny Church. Like the Bible says, whatsoever a man believes in his heart, and so is he.
Right.
Or without a vision, the people perish. Like all of these things, like about vision, and knowing these principles, you know what I'm saying? Like you can really, really, really be intentional about it. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. So
Yeah.
you can specifically speak life into your situation. You know what I'm saying?
The ironic part is it says, whatever so a man believes, so he is. Like a lot of people have been led to believe that they're less than what they really are. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, bro. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Man, I never forget leaving. Like I'm originally from South Carolina, from a little small rural town in South Carolina. And
Yeah.
so but I've traveled a lot of places, like since my younger years. And what I realized is, man, most people's vision of themselves are limited to their geographical region, or their current environment. You know what I'm saying? And but when you start to escape that, then your vision expands. So you can intentionally do things to expand like your vision. You know, um, Troy, are you still there? Um,
Yeah, I'm here. I was just kind of letting you had a shine. You know what I'm
I,
saying?
I got you. I got you. I got you. No, like I got you, bro. I just want to make sure I didn't lose you. So
No,
here's
I'm
the
here.
thing. I back in the early 2000s or whatever, my first time leaving home,
Uh-huh.
I go to this. My boy takes me to this car lot where there's just like this amazing car, right? We go to the Volkswagen dealership, and there's this nice car, and I had never seen it before. It's like an Audi. Like, man, what the hell is an Audi? This is dope. And this car, was sitting on this turnstile, had all these amazing buttons, bad wheels, and I think the sticker price on it was like somewhere around $94,000. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that was so far fetched for someone coming up, someone living in poverty. I'm like, but I just remember saying to myself, like one of these days I'm gonna get one of these cars. Like I want this. This is incredible. You know what I'm saying? It's not a it's not a Mercedes. It's not a BMW. It's just something different. Like I really love this car, and
Right.
like so, I continued to live my life and did not even give it, you know, another thought, right? But I did project that energy out there like that time. Um, and fast forward, a few years, I go to the dealership looking for a car. As a matter of fact, I was looking for a Chevy Tahoe, because they had just changed the body style. And
Yeah.
and it's one of these dealerships that have like multiple brands there. They sell Chevy, they sell Toyota, they sell Audi, like one of those deals. And here's this Audi A8 on the showroom floor, like this magnificent car. And bro, I ended up driving it home. I took the car home. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I took the car home. And it's so crazy, man, how in hindsight, I'm like, you know what? Fuck, I projected this. You know what I'm saying? I projected this years and years ago and it manifested itself. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and me being who I am now, and listen, I've done that several times in the course of my life. You know what I'm saying? And I call that intentional living.
Right.
And you have to do more than just project, right? You have to be, organized about it. You start to learn things like, because even the Bible tells you, faith without work is dead, right? So,
Right.
but nothing stops you from um, learning a process, understanding a process, creating a plan of action,
Right.
asking yourself how can I bring this to pass? You know what I'm saying? Like no matter what the situation is, whether it's retiring, early, whether it's having a certain amount in your bank account or whatever, um, it's, nothing stops you for giving that particular situation a reason to be successful. You
So
know what I'm
what
saying?
advice would you have for a young person? Right now, you're 40 years old, right? Or
Yeah,
39 or
I'm
somewhere
40.
in there.
Yeah.
And you've lived a wonderful life. You got a beautiful family.
Mm-hmm.
Both have dope careers. But there was a point where you didn't have all that. And so a lot of
Right.
young people are listening, they want something to happen like fast, right? So what's your
Mhm.
advice for a young person, it's like in their 20s, who's trying to get to their dream life where it seems like everything is taking too long in this microwave
Mhm.
society?
Right. Right. Nothing happens overnight. Number one. Um, and with intentional living, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to settle. It's just taking your time, enjoying your journey. Like for me, there was never an end point. You have some people who have these like, oh, once I get into this career or once I get this amount or once I get this salary or whatever. No,
Yeah,
enjoy your journey. Every single thing that you go through is a part of your journey. You understand
right.
what I'm saying? It's a part of your journey. Like that time, the time that you are flipping burgers, you know what I'm saying? Like take in every single lesson that you can take to you when it comes to going to the next part of your journey. You
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because let me tell you something. Like oftentimes I see people who try to skip in the process
yeah,
and they get to where they need to be and they can't handle it. You know what I'm saying?
right. The foundation's
Um,
not set.
the foundation's not set, and if your foundation's not set, everything is about to cave in on you. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? That's the unfortunate thing that happens to a lot of us. You understand what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
take your time, and enjoy the journey.
I guess if I had to give advice to a person who was trying to, get to a certain level, I would say
Mhm.
surround yourself with people who've done something similar. Because a lot of things
That's,
I do, I
that's
hadn't
big.
seen. I didn't have an example, right?
Hmm.
Um, but at the same time, I would say have a long time perspective. Because if you look at, like, I was in the Air Force for 7 years, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
7 years is a long time. But looking back on it, it felt like a year. Like when you went to college for 4 years, you know, it seemed like when you're young, 4 years when you're 18, that's like a fourth of your life. But really, 4 years
Hmm.
is just a blip if you live to be 50 or 60 or 70. And so I say, man, don't be in a rush. Be consistent. Do something towards what you're trying to do or what you want to do every day, because that time is going to pass. And one of my favorite features on Facebook is on this day 3 years ago, you were doing this. And if you look at that and you're doing the same thing or less, it's going to make you feel a certain kind of way. So listen, today is December 13th. And so when you look back on this broadcast or whatever your update was on Facebook or wherever you're doing, you want to see that you've made progress. And the only way to make that is to take small steps every day in the direction of where you're going. They say, hey, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts, man. That's facts. So I even want to speak to the people who cannot surround themselves or don't have the people to surround themselves with. Because so if you don't have the people to surround yourself with who are doing great things, what do you do then? So
Right.
I just want to speak to that. Like, so I like as a kid coming up in poverty, parents experiencing addiction, that kind of thing. Um, what I did intentionally was I changed my environment. Even as a kid, I would do that. You know what I'm saying? Specifically, a couple of times, I remember um, I lied on a permission slip by forging my mom's name, and I ended up going to see a play like a couple of towns away or whatever. You know, um, my mom had said, no, you can't go, this type of thing, but I wanted to go, so I forged my name on a permission slip, and we ended up going to see the Monkey's Paw in Charleston, South Carolina. You know, I'm sitting there, man, and I'm just blown away by all the theatrics. I'm watching the special effects, the lightning, the sound of the narrator I felt as if I was the only kid in that theater.
Right.
And I think that was one of my first tastes, like just of my first brushes with like entertainment. You know what I'm saying? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, just blown away. And I wasn't even bothered by the fact that since I lied on the permission slip, I didn't have a packed lunch and I ended up being hungry as fuck. But what what mattered the most was like I had a vision of seeing something that I had never seen before. Like
Right.
I'm literally watching the people create this amazing production. And I said to myself, wow, I wanna I wanna do something like this. I could, I just felt because it gave me an escape. You know what I'm saying? It was a whole lot better than my situation, and it took my focus off of it.
Right.
So I ended up projecting entertainment into my life at an early age. So intentionally changing your environment, giving yourself something else to see is a big deal. Like my little town, we weren't too far from the coast of Myrtle Beach, we had these means of transportation called the beach bus, right? Only cost $5 a ride. And so the beach bus ran between 6 a.m. and 2 p.m., right? Not too late. So, my parents, again, my dad wasn't in the picture, but like my mom, dealing with addiction or whatever, like I can get missing and it really not be a problem. You know what I'm saying? So what I would do was, I would take $5, catch the beach bus, go to the beach. I'm a little kid, yo. And I would sit down, on Ocean Boulevard and like look at the ocean and all of its just infiniteness, and just dream about the possibilities of what I could do with this life. You know what I'm saying? While the other kids are like at the attic, the arcade, running around playing, bro, I'm someplace. I'm like, how can I change my life? I would spend my time between 6 and 2 walking through neighborhoods, like, oh, this is a dope house, and I'm watching these families, like on vacation, in these beautiful beach houses or whatever, like just desiring and wishing that was me, like, you know what I'm saying? Right. And let me tell you, like that, giving myself that vision afforded me to be humble, like knowing what it feels not to have that. Right. Always kept me humble, but it put me in situations to actually have that manifest into my life, to be able to take my family to a beach house just like that, or to be able to have a house just like that, or drive a car just like that. You know what I'm saying? Having amazing friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's, that intention.
Oh, that's dope, man.
Believing in that, believing that, bro. It changed my life. You know what
that's
I'm saying?
Dope. And Sheldon Smith jumped on and called us big dogs. We feel the same about Sheldon Smith of the Dovetail Project.
Gosh, Sheldon. What's up, bro?
Who's out here training young fathers on fatherhood skills, job skills, street justice, and just an awesome, incredible dude, man. And you talk about living with intention. Sheldon Smith is someone who became a father early, got in a little bit of trouble, and intentionally decided he wanted to be a better father than what he had. And then he didn't stop right there. Like a lot of us will be the best parent we could be for our children, but he went out there and started training other fathers on how to become better fathers. And that intention led him to me and him meeting, and then me introducing him to Jason. So sometimes, the intention that you have when you're living intentionally, you'll attract other people who are vibrating on that same level, who can be of help to you, or you can help. And I'm glad Sheldon piped in right there, because that level of intention is important, because you hear about all these dead fathers. You hear about how Black dads aren't involved, but I don't know anyone who does that. Like, I don't. Like, everyone that I'm surrounded with, I'm not saying that there's not some fatherlessness at certain levels, but it's never as much, or it's not as much as what the media says. But I will say, with Sheldon, Jason, Troy, and anyone who can call ourselves friends, it's not a thing. Now, we might not be married to the mother, but we are involved with the children, and we all understand the importance of a good father, just a father in the life of a child. Yeah, yeah. So big ups to Sheldon. Thanks, man. We love you, dog.
My guy.
And look, we're not going to be here much longer. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say, my man Sheldon living that custom life. That's that's another part of intentional living. You understand what I'm saying? Like, just understanding the importance of how to like customize your life. And that's your vision. You're not walking in anybody else's shoes. It's yours. It's your custom life. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I love about this thing. And I just encourage young people, to live intentionally and customize your life. Don't try to be like nobody else but you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what makes this whole human experience special, because we're different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, cool, man. Well, look, we ain't gonna be here long. You know how sometimes Sunday school go over. But I'm glad Jason Rogers joined me. I'm OG Troy Knowles, and this was Sunday school, and we out of here.
Out of here. Thanks for having me on, bro.
You got it.